Welcome to a new episode of Nails from A to Z. This episode is powered by Glossary Live. Hi, I'm Alicia Raimondo, and welcome to Peel Back the Polish. I'm here with Betty Sims, a learning experience specialist at Pivot Point, and we are very excited to talk to him about his experience with America's Next Top Nail Artist. He was a finalist, and also just kind of get to know him and his journey through the nail industry. Because you've been in the industry like almost how many years now?
Let's see, I've been licensed for 13 years this year.
All right, so we've got 13 years of history to go through. So everybody buckle up, here we go. Where were you born? Where'd you start? Where are you from?
Omaha, Nebraska, born and raised, currently still in Omaha. Started doing nails on my mom, like a lot of people, right?
Yes.
And at that time, the nail art trend was really starting to come back in fashion, and regular polish just wasn't good enough for her anymore. So she busted out the toothpicks, and we started doing nail art with dotting tools and things like that.
So she just asked you to do her nails, or you were just like, I was playing in polish and
asking more like, can you just do that?
Oh, okay,
but
okay.
Of course, as a loving son, my mom and I are very close, so
Okay.
It was an opportunity for us to spend time together and bond. And you know, obviously she's not only encouraged my journey from the beginning, but all the way through. So It's been great to have her by my side the whole time.
Yeah. So, so she had you doing all these services on her, and when did you feel that that was going to be something that you wanted to do forever?
Well, I initially wanted to go into cosmetology, but you know, it's a little more expensive and more time consuming than nail school. But in Nebraska at that time, natural nails weren't licensed. And actually, they still aren't. It's the only state that it's not licensed.
Oh, wow.
But I was sought after by a salon owner where my dad would get his hair cut. She saw what I did on my mom and asked me to come and work at her very humble salon, plum and purple and pink. And yeah, it was definitely, you know, an older clientele, but they welcomed me with open arms. But it only took a couple appointments for me to figure out that even though it wasn't licensed, I needed to go to school.
Yeah, you needed to learn a little bit more about what was going on. Were you always artistic? I mean, did you always kind of dabble in, what was your childhood like with that?
I like any medium, and it really runs in the blood between my mom, my grandmother, my great-grandmother. They were mostly into like fiber crafts and ceramics, which is a lot of fine detail hand painting. So I think that's kind of where that initial interest came from. Music, we all played instruments and were in choir, so that artistic side has always been there for me, and I could not think of a better job where I have that professional side, the business side, but also the creative side.
Right.
So little did I know that it was going to turn into what it is now.
Right. Because I don't think anybody in this industry is like, I'm going to go do nails and that's going to be my career for the rest of my life. It's kind of like you thought you were going to do something, and then you thought you were going to go do nails for a little bit, and then something happened. So what happened?
You know, I had a really great mentor, you know, and so many great supporters along the way that ultimately saw something in me that I really didn't see in myself at the time. You know, it is easy, I think, when you are doing nail art on such a tiny canvas to really be a perfectionist. So even though I may have been hard on myself, they saw something in me and encouraged me to take advantage of competitions like Next Top Nail Artist. I'd only been licensed for a year. I never would have dreamt of applying for a competition like that. But obviously they knew me better than I knew myself at the time, and I'm so thankful that they did that for me.
So when you jumped into that, what was that like for you?
Oh my gosh, a whirlwind. You know, at that time it was a weekly competition. So for 4 months, we competed every single week. So every week it was like, okay, I'm for sure going home this time. And then lo and behold, I would place in the top 3 or even won a couple of the challenges. So slowly but surely just kept building momentum, and it got more exciting, and the public could vote too. So I was sending out press releases and getting the news on board, everyone I could.
Oh, so you were learning how to market yourself at the same time you were learning how to, you know, compete in the nail environment.
Yeah, so much like North America's Star Nail Artist, Next Top Nail Artist had a lot of those same principles where you had to do your own photography, videography, marketing, photo editing, plus all the nail art
Right,
too,
right.
right?
That's a lot.
It was a lot,
Yeah.
and that I think Instagram had maybe been around for a couple years max at that point. You know, TikTok wasn't a thing, so we were required to post on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. So those were all a
Oh my
part of it. Were
gosh,
all
wow.
of these posts that you had to create as well. So
That's a lot.
yeah, especially as a new nail artist, I'm just trying to get the skills down, and now you want me to do all this other stuff.
Right,
But
right.
it was the best experience I could have had, and because of that, still today I'm feeling the benefits of that, meeting people like you and everyone through Nailolympia. So
Right.
I encourage everyone to take advantage of those opportunities, even if you don't think you're ready.
I know. It's like having kids or anything else. Like, there's never a good time. You just do it. Like, you know, and you have to get past the fear and just do it. And I think that is the best way of learning, right? Is to just jump in, jump in the deep end.
Well, there's no guarantee that there's tomorrow, right?
Right.
So if you are someone who's hungry and you want to elevate your skills quickly and build your clientele quickly, those are the types of things that you have to do right now.
Right.
Don't wait, because
Right.
those benefits are just going to be prolonged in the process.
Right. So when you are in this whole competition thing and then you jump out of that after being so fresh and new, where do you go next?
Oh my gosh. Well, obviously, building my business was a main focus because I still was pretty new. So leveraging that to get more money so I could continue growing my business. But, that opened the door for some connections with manufacturers and distributors. I was able to be published in the process, so that allowed me a little bit of visibility in the industry. So I made some connections with the distributor and manufacturer, got me out on the road to some of these amazing trade shows like we're at now. And it's amazing how quickly that can snowball, even if you're someone like me who was a little shy and a little meek because I wasn't feeling super confident at the time. But just putting yourself out there, all you have to do is meet that one person and make that one connection. You have no idea the benefits that can come from that.
Absolutely. So after that, I think you might have opened a salon or something.
I did. It was not something I necessarily had planned, but again, an amazing support group, right?
Yep.
So not only the people I worked with at the time, but I'll never forget my father being like, "You're gonna own a salon one day," and I was like, "I don't think that's for me. I'm not sure that I want to do that," but he saw something in me I didn't see in myself, and the opportunity presented itself, and we got together as a group. I had those conversations with people because I wanted to support them the same way that they supported me, and I didn't want to just create this environment without having input. So I think we created something really unique there, where it wasn't just me as the leader. We all worked together as a team, and many of us worked together for a lot of years, a long, long time together. And I think that's really important when you're in a leadership role, is being able to kind of step to the side, right? Like, you don't always have to be in that leadership mentality. You can be the beta and let other people's ideas be heard and seen, and you all will reap the benefits of that. So the salon did quite well, and I'm very thankful for that experience.
Aw, I love getting with people and being in a group environment, because it really does, like, if you want to go far, you go together,
Yes.
And so absolutely, I agree 100%. But sometimes salon ownership isn't for everybody, right? So sometimes you take a different path, and I think that's what's so cool about this industry, is there's so many paths you can take.
Yes.
So when you jumped out of salon ownership, then you jumped into another pond.
Yes, I did. While working in the salon, I was approached by Pivot Point, was referred through Jan Arnold of C&D. They were looking for subject matter experts for their new Fundamentals Nails program, and I was brought on as a 1099 employee at the time to help develop the program, do the behind-the-scenes filming for all of the workshops, and I just loved the culture there. Pivot Point's been around for a long time, and the founder truly believed in the industry and supported individuals, not even just the industry as a whole. And I felt that. So when I was on set having those experiences, I was just kind of doing that like gentle nudge, like, do you have anything here? Because I knew I did not want to leave. So I had to earn my place there. It took a couple of years to, find a position that really worked for me, but I'm so glad that I stuck around because now I get to share all of my experiences with our school owners, educators, all of the students. And in my job, I really think that helps shape the future of the industry. That's what
absolutely
fuels
does
my fire, right?
Right.
I get to travel the country, and even if I'm not traveling and just meeting digitally, we have the best industry with the coolest people,
Yes.
right? So, and we're all approachable. Even if you have that person that you think is, maybe a little high and mighty or whatever, you'd be really surprised to find out how approachable people really are. If you just step outside of your comfort zone and say hello, they want to share. That's what this industry is all about, is continuing education.
Yes. And anyone in education in our industry, I mean, they're in it because they love it, right? They love to share, they love what they're doing, and they want to be your mentor. I mean, they really do.
Yeah, there are so many people out there that want to share that information. And the industry, I think, is at maybe kind of a crossroads right now. There's a lot of things happening nationally and even at a statewide level. So if we aren't sharing this information, we aren't making those connections to be unified, that's how things can kind of start to fall apart.
Yeah.
Right? So it's so important for me to be approachable and to have these conversations so we can protect the industry that gave so much to both of us. Now
Yes.
It's my turn to give back and make sure that it's not only there for me, because I'm not done yet,
Right,
but
right.
there for the next generation and beyond.
Yep, that's what we do too. I mean, Glossary Live is definitely a passion project to bring education to our industry, and to introduce you to mentors that, that are out there like waiting to help. So with your job at Pivot Point, I mean, just for people that are out there that don't really understand exactly maybe what you do or how, this is another like position in the industry that you can like want to attain to be. So with Pivot Point, what kinds of things do you do?
So I work in the education department. So we specifically work on either education development or bringing education to our school partners. So not only am I the nail subject matter expert, but I also work with methodology. So I'm working directly with instructors on how to bring that curriculum to life, how to make it exciting and engaging for learners.
Oh.
Heavy emphasis on technology as well, right? Because, all of the learners in the classroom are digital natives. So that's a really big part of it for me too. The programs that we offer are amazing. The way that we present it is in bite-sized chunks in a magazine layout. So visually, it's beautiful. It's easy to understand. But there's that other element too, right? How do we bring that to life so it makes sense for learners and we're able to touch on all those different learning styles, right? So I love that methodology side of it as well. And it really gets me fired up when you think about the science behind how the brain works and absorbs information.
For sure. Well, I feel like that is one of the most important parts of our industry is the students and the next generation coming up and getting those instructors excited about teaching it again, 6 months later, because it is a short program in school, but your instructors have to be excited about it. They have to be, inspired by the content that they're teaching.
Yep.
So good for you for helping bring that to life. And then what does Pivot Point have to offer once the student gets out of school? Because I know there's a lot more to Pivot Point than just, that textbook and then getting through school.
Sure. Well, we, are a manufacturer as well. So if you ever need anything kit related or you're in cosmetology, for example, we have the best mannequins in the industry.
Okay.
And of course, if you ever want to go into being an instructor, we have a whole instructor program as well for licensure. So we're moving more into that pro market. For the most part, we are working with undergraduates, right? Like that's kind of our main goal, but that doesn't mean we aren't always here for those that are licensed. host.
Right.
You know, if you want to host a class at your salon or you have questions, we are always here.
Awesome. I love hearing that. So besides Pivot Point, what is on the front for just you, Buddy Sims?
Oh, Lord. So many things all the time. I don't know how to sit still almost ever. But, you know, very exciting development this year is I'm going to move away from Omaha. You know, born and raised there. So I think it's maybe time baby bird, you know, flies the nest and moves on. So I'd love to be in Chicago, closer to work.
Okay.
You know, I love my job, and everyone that works at Pivot Point is an expert in their fields, you know, so it's such a great environment to be around. I'd love to be close to my coworkers, but I also have friends there too. So
oh, great.
That's probably the biggest development, which is going to be humongous this year. But, you know, beyond that, I'm just looking forward to, you know, still letting those roots grow at Pivot Point. I would like to retire there. That's like the ultimate goal.
Oh, I love that. You can't, I mean, you can't say anything better about your company than I want to stay until I retire there. That's awesome. I know that you are so focused on the students and, you know, getting them to where they need to be. But if somebody is watching this that maybe is interested in nails, or maybe they're not licensed yet, what do you think is like your best advice onto, you know, how they should just approach this whole nail industry in general?
Well, you know, first and foremost, you really have to be careful with who you're following online, right? You know, if you are someone that just wants to start kind of getting a feel for what's out there, I would start with, you know, brands that are professional only. You know, organizations that support the industry, whether it's Beauty Changes Lives or, you know, Politics, Beauty, and Barber. Those industries are sects of our profession that really stand for the profession. That's where I would start. There's a lot of people out there that, you know, may have millions of followers, but are they safe? Are they doing it appropriately? So if that's where your comfort zone is kind of searching online, start with places like Gloss Free Live or Pivot Point. Don't hesitate to reach out to me, and we'll make sure that we get you connected with the right people and can answer those questions to figure out if this is really what you want to do. Yeah. But you know, every state has rules and regs, so you can also start there as well and just make sure that you're not doing anything that would be unsafe for the public, because that's our number one goal, is to protect the integrity of the natural nails, skin, hair, whatever your discipline is. And
the nail technician. So if you don't know enough, you don't know how to protect yourself. So you don't want to be using products that are going to be bad for your own health as well as your clients too. So yeah, being aware of all of that. I mean, we're always, you know, on that front too. I know that anybody that's involved with, you know, educating schools, that's one of the most important things, is safety and sanitation first. So those are always good places to start. And is there any last minute advice that you want to share with anyone?
Oh man, you know, be kind to yourself. This can be a competitive industry and things can move really fast. And I talked about, you know, how fine detail things can be, but we all have to start somewhere. And if you really invest the time and you're kind to yourself in that process, you will be more successful quicker. I wish I would have been nicer to myself early on, because I do think, looking back now, it maybe kind of held me back. And even if it didn't hold me back, I probably would have felt a little better in the process.
Right.
So
right.
I think
we're all our own worst enemies, you know. And I mean, at my age, I've just this last year, I'm like, I need to be more accepting and more kind to myself. I think that that's such great advice. I can't believe it took me this long to figure that out.
I don't know why it takes so long for some of us, but as we both have discovered in our time in the industry, everyone here wants to help one another out.
Yes.
So I think I was kind of like projecting my own internal whatever on other people, thinking they're not going to like me, or they're up here and I'm down here. And that's so not the case.
It really isn't. And that's why, Glossary Live, like we do interviews like this because it's so important to know that they're really rooting for each other. And I do some classes sometimes on like public speaking and stuff like that. And I always tell everybody, like when you're standing on that stage, trust me, everybody's rooting for you. No one wants you to fail.
Right.
No one wants you to fall off the stage. No one wants you to pass out. Like they're all rooting for you. So just remember, everybody's rooting for you. We're rooting for you. We want new students, new people in the industry, and we want you to learn as much as you possibly can. And so you have people like me, championing for you. Buddy is championing for you all the time. We've dedicated our lives and the rest of his life for sure to bringing education to you. So if they want to reach out to you and have your little voice in their heads for maybe questions that they might have about the nail industry or anything else, where can they contact you?
Sure. So Buddy Sims on Facebook, pretty straightforward there. I'm the Claws Connoisseur on Instagram. And my email at Pivot Point is bsims@pivot-point.com. If you'd like to reach the greater education team, it's pivotpointedu@pivot-point.com.
Oh, you've given that information out before.
I sure have. And I'm thankful that people take advantage of it. I think we really have been able to help a lot of people be very successful, and I'm thankful for the opportunity to continue doing that.
Oh, well, I am grateful for you sharing your story with us, sharing your journey with our audience, and we look forward to seeing you again. And we'll touch base. We'll find out after you move to Chicago how things are going and what kind of exciting things you have ahead.
Well, thank you for having me. This has been wonderful.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us on Peel Back the Polish, and we'll see you next time.
For more nail stuff, don't forget to visit glossarylive.com to find inspiration, trends, step-by-steps, and news. It's all about nails.